But now we go into midfielders. Now it gets a bit juicier. This is where it will start to get a bit heated, maybe. Might be a bit closer. I don't know what you've got, actually. Shall I? I'll intro?
It's my turn first.
No!
And I want you to know that if you think that the midfield will get you ants in your pants, if you think that's going to cause a jeffing argument...
Why is it ants in your pants?
I don't know. If you think that's going to cause an argument, you wait till you hear my attack.
Okay.
My midfield pick for the Premier League Hall of Fame.
Da-da-da-da.
I'll let you guess it first. I will give you a clue.
Okay.
He played in red.
Okay.
55 goals. No, 107 goals, 55 assists.
Oh, I know who it is.
Who?
Paul Scholes.
Paul Scholes.
Ding, ding, ding.
Paul Scholes. The best passing ever in the Premier League. Ozil comes close, but...
Yeah, no, he's not the same.
It's just incredible technique, especially with those fucking volley goals. They're disgusting. He perfected the 1-2. He was just one of them players that if he got the ball in a position he didn't like it, he would pass it to someone else, he would get the ball back, and as soon as you took your eye off him for 1 second and you allowed him that little bit of space, that's when he would fucking punish you. He was the ultimate conductor in the middle of midfield. As I said, 107 goals, 55 assists, 11 Premier League mother titles. 11.
That's incredible.
Twice in the Team of the Year. As I was going through and I was looking at Scholes and I was trying to get together some of his stats, what I did stumble across is some of the quotes that players said about him. And you had Guardiola, Messi, Lippi, Ronaldo, all these players.
Lippi? Okay. I don't know why he gets into that, but yeah. Marcello Lippi.
Alright, fine. Xavi. You had all these players.
They wanted his shirt at the end of the game.
No, it was saying they wanted to play with him, that they would talk about him, that they would base their game on him. He was the best midfielder.
Zidane, that's what he said. He said one of his regrets is never playing with Paul Scholes, which I totally understand. Although those two playing together, I don't really see how that would work. Unless you had a defensive midfielder destroyer, covering everything.
Don't put that in my head. Don't give me a midfield three of Zidane and Scholes and someone covering them, because that's disgusting. And
you'd have to have that because they can't tackle both of them.
I've said to you before, I'm 99% sure that was a tactic by Scholes because.
Oh no, yeah, he definitely just stamped on you just to be like, you're a youngster, you're not doing anything. This is Manchester United. I'm showing you why I'm the best, and he was awesome in that sense. The reason why I'll make a case for Paul Scholes as well is that based on his build, right? Small, not physical.
Ginger.
Yeah, okay. Well, I wasn't really going down that. He could have red hair, he could have purple hair, black hair. Terrible tackling ability. He really should not have been a Premier League footballer. If you think about it, you really shouldn't. But because he was so smart and his technique was so good and passing the ball short, distributing the ball, dropping into pockets, basically creating a passing triangle around you all by himself somehow. And for me, that volley against Aston Villa will always... It will remain one of the best goals ever scored in the Premier League. But he was technically perfect. And even in his latter years, right, when he couldn't run, right, and he was paired with Michael Carrick, I think I read somewhere that, okay, we know we can't compete physically with their opposing midfielders, and between him and Carrick, they'll just pass the ball between each other for 20 minutes just to tire out the midfield. And it was just certain genius like that. Yeah, he's well up there.
Do you not remember in that friendly game, like charity game a few months ago that he was playing in, and someone passed the ball to him, and he, as the ball come to him, he took a swing at it, but he's facing the opposite way to which the ball actually went. He took a swing at it, so when the ball come into him, it flicked off the outside of his boot, went behind him, and straight into Robin Van Persie's path. Do you remember that?
Don't mention that guy's name on this podcast.
Okay, fine. Into a Dutch striker's pass. Do you remember that?
This is Premier League only. What are you talking about, a friendly?
I'm just bringing up that. I watched that clip so many times just to try and understand how he actually did that.
And maybe people watching Premier League now, they might not remember him, but when he was younger, he was, to his credit, he was actually very good at closing you down. Like, that doesn't get mentioned enough. People see him in the latter years, because in the latter years, he obviously couldn't run as much, and
he knew that.
He knew that, and that's why the amount of long balls he was playing was increased as he got older, because he was like, yeah, let's just ping it across and just let's not bother around here.
But he's one of the few players who would be able to put it onto your foot. Like, he wouldn't just put it in the area that you think he'll be. He will put it onto your left or right foot, even if he's 30 yards away. It's insane.
Yeah, and I hate Man United as well. So when I'm watching him, I still say, oh my God, that's amazing. Whenever he does like amazing crossfield pass, or he has an outrageous assist. But he's my pick as well, because we're not making it exciting at all. We're picking all the same players. Yeah. But my honourable mention, which I think he was actually quite close to Paul Scholes than I thought he was going to be, actually, and that is Frank Lampard.
Close to him in goals and assists?
No, just close as to picking him compared to Paul Scholes. I know there's a lot of intangibles to Paul Scholes, the stuff that you can't be picking up in stats. He was purely magical in what he was doing. But
it's the conducting of the game, and that is a lot more difficult to prove in stats. But that, I agree, that didn't stop Lampard knocking up. He's Chelsea's highest goal scorer, is he not?
I think so. So he had 611 appearances, which is Paul Scholes had 499, which is crazy, because Paul Scholes he was there for like 14 seasons or something like that. What about him?
You say Scholes.
Scholes, sorry. Scholes.
You're stressing me the fuck out.
Scholesy, fine.
I'm happy with that. But it's like, Scholes. What? No.
Sorry, this is how he introduced me as the weird Mexican, American, British man who just randomly mispronounces certain words. 611 appearances, 177 goals, and 102 assists. That is wild for a midfield. That is, how can you? It would be stupid not to consider him. That's why he was actually pretty close. The poshest player in the Premier League, actually educated Frank Lampard, Super Frank, Fat Frank, whatever you want to call him. 3 Premier League titles, 1 player of the season, and he's the only midfielder to score over 150 goals.
I think, again, similar to Ferdinand, he's almost an easy pick. He would be in the conversation, so no doubt there. I actually broke the rules with my honourable pick.
Yeah?
Because we did actually... Did we mention this at the beginning? I don't think we did. So for those of you who've dived in halfway, because I don't know who do that.
No.
But anyway, we're doing retired-only players.
You can't have an inductee to the Hall of Fame whilst they're playing.
Yeah, that's fair. But I would argue till I fucking died that De Bruyne should be in there.
Yeah, he'll be up there, but I still don't think he would...
He breaks the rules anyway, but I
know, but we can argue that a little bit right now. He doesn't have 11 Premier League titles.
No, but he is...
For him to get there, well, he would need 4 Premier League titles, because Frank Lampard has 3.
No.
To get in the discussion.
No, because then you've got people like John O'Shea who should be above Ashley Cole by that logic.
No, but it's a factor. We're not considering those people, because obviously not. They're going to be considered. No. But when you're getting to the nitty gritty of who's the first person in there, you have to factor these things, these little things.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think as far as ability goes, he's up there with Scholes.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I totally agree. But to overtake him,
both ginger.
Yeah, maybe that's the secret formula. Being like the greatest Premier League player. He's not really ginger, he's like strawberry blonde, no?
I don't know, but all these ginger kids right now,
they're so good.
You can do it. Come on, we need another Scholes in that England team. Get your ginger on.
Yeah, just don't be as bad as tackling. But yeah, and what I give Frank Lampard, his consistency was insane. He has the record for the most consecutive appearances with 164. Can you imagine that? No injuries, playing every single game. It might not have been like 90 minutes, of course, but... And I just remember him, obviously I hated Chelsea. It sounds like I hate everyone. I do kind of hate everyone, but... he was such a goal-scoring threat. I remember he would not do anything for all game, and then he would just pop up on the edge of the box and score 2 goals. And you're just like, wow, that's just the most important thing, really, isn't it?
I was going to say, I feel like he perfected that late running to the box. Yeah. His timing and movement was second to none. He would see where the defenders are. He would find the space. He would move into it. Just at the time the defender looks up, or sorry, not the defender, the crosser of the ball, the pass or whatever, just as they look up, he's there, I'm like, I'm here.
Bang!
And then...
Bottom left, bottom right. He's perfect at that. And then we go on to striker. Striker.
The position you wanted to start with.
Yes. because it's the only one I'm really interested in. No. I can assume that Alex already knows who I'm picking based on my allegiance. Appearances, 258. Goals, 175. Assists, 74. He won 157 games. And you know what? He only lost 39 games. That's pretty damn wild. 4 golden boots, 2 players of the seasons, 2 Premier League titles.
Not bad for Thierry Henry, who is obviously your choice.
Yeah, of course. Of course it's Thierry Henry. It shouldn't be anyone else. No one else comes bloody close to his output and performance.
Okay, let's just have a wee think about that. Oh, wait, let me think. What about the Premier League goal scorer of all time? The ultimate in maintaining a top level in Alan fucking Shearer. How the fuck can you not get the guy who scored 260 goals, 64 assists, 3 golden boots, won the Player of the Year once?
How many appearances?
I don't know how many appearances. Let me have a quick look.
1,000 appearances, I bet. It's not as efficient. Like, this is where I'm nitpicking here, because it's all about efficiency, right? Goals and assists. Henry, 175 and 74 assists. What? That's 249 goal contributions against 258 appearances. So you're saying?
Wait. Tell me that maths again. What was his goal and assist contribution and his assists?
249
goals.
and assists.
Yeah, and how many games?
258.
Whoa, that is quite incredible.
So in only 9 games, essentially, he didn't contribute. Right? This is my argument against someone like Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer didn't have the type of assists. People are still trying to chase Henry. That everyone knows 2003, 2004, he scored 30 goals. He also had 6 assists. But 2002 and 2003, he scored 24 goals and got 20 assists. He has the assist record of the Premier League. Still mind-blowing. Like, no one has the combination of pace, technique, skill, and when anyone does that finish into the bottom right corner, everyone calls it, oh, that's an Henry goal right there, right? And he makes it look so simple, but no one else can bloody do it at the same rate that he was doing it.
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
Go on.
If you want a player to be good for 5 years, how long was he at Arsenal for? How long was he at that level for? 5 years?
5-6 years, yeah.
If you want a player to do that, I see what you're saying. It's Henry. But if you wanted a player to do that across 10 years in a worse team, because that's the thing with Henry, you think he was incredible or he was incredible for all these years. Look at the players he had around him, right?
They're great players.
Alan Shearer did this at Blackburn and Newcastle. He not only beat, and he did that over 10 years. 10 years, that is consistently at a high level. Henry obviously went to Barcelona, so he didn't really get a chance to prove he could do that. But he did that. He has the most Premier League hat-tricks as well. He scored the most penalties.
He's great, yeah.
He had the most goals in a single match, in 5. He scored 100 goals in... he was the fewest 100 goals in 124 appearances. Henry, yes, he had a better ratio. But Shearer, as far as...
What was his ratio?
0.59.
Yeah, not as good as Henry.
Which was...
I don't know. Are you talking about total goal contributions?
Just goals.
Oh, don't know. 175 over 258. Someone do it quick. I can't do it.
It was 0.68.
Yeah, what?
Which is equal to Kane's. So unless you want to start arguing that Kane deserves to be in the conversation as well.
Yeah, well, he would. Well, he has to retire first.
He does have to. But my
and he doesn't have any Premier League titles, so no, he's not in there.
My point being is I would always pick a player. So let's say Henry, because you're making a big deal of the assist. I always think a striker, his main thing is goals.
Yeah, no, but it's in
it's an added bonus. I agree. What I'm saying is...
It's a great added bonus.
Henry was 10 out of 10 for 5 years. We don't know if he was going to continue that. At Barcelona, he didn't continue it. But for 5 years, to maintain a level of Shearer's level for a decade is just beyond belief. Because we don't know what Henry would have done, but Shearer did it.
Yeah, but how many of those contributed to wins? His goals, do you think? Because they didn't win anything. They were ambling in 5th to about 16th.
That makes it more impressive.
No. Okay.
Of course
This is the misunderstanding, right? This is the misunderstanding. Oh, he did it for a rubbish team, right? When you play for a rubbish team and you play other rubbish teams, the game is far more open. If you play for a top team, right, you do have better players, but they're parking the bus against you. They're trying to contain the game at you, and there's always pressure, far more pressure at scoring at a big club than it is at a small club, because you basically have to turn up every game and you have to score.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
No.
If that was true, then the top goal scorers would be filled with players who played for mediocre teams. It's not true.
That does happen, though.
No, but it's not. You look, who's the top? You've got Alan Shearer, Rooney's up there, Aguero's up there, Kane. But if you look at those top players, they all, similar, they play in these great teams. And don't get me wrong, I'm not taking away from, because that doesn't mean that you're going to be a great scorer. There's plenty of players who've gone into good teams and not scored goals. Shevchenko, Torres when he went Chelsea, Soldado.
Yeah, wow.
My point being, right, is that is null and void. Or you would have a lot more players like Shearer in there. He did it in a crap team. And yes, I'm not saying it's easy to do it, but I think it's more difficult to be in a rubbish team and to score goals than it is to be in a great team with the added pressures and teams parking the bus than that.
He does have one Premier League title, to be fair.
Who's Shearer?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
was that in the Premier League? It was in the Premier League.
Might have been 42 game. Might have been 42 season.
Might have been such a long time ago. Well, they did buy that league, that essentially, which is okay. It's a little bit of an asterisk with that one, but I'll give him his consistency.
That was a good team when he was at Blackburn. That was a good team, and I think that would make what I'm arguing a bit void for those years. But certainly for his, let's say, last year at Blackburn, and whilst he was at Newcastle.
Okay, but who would you rather be?
Shearer.
You would rather be Shearer? Alan Shearer?
If you're judging me by Premier League standards, Premier League alone, Shearer. Because I can say I did it for a whole decade. I'm the best goal scorer that has ever lived in Premier League.
I'd rather have the shorter stint and be unanimous. He also made the Premier League global as well. This is what part of my point. He made him, along with Arsenal and Man United, and that rivalry, but he sort of made the Premier League like sexy, if I can describe it like that.
What, with his va-va-voom?
Yeah. Well, with the style of play that Arsenal were playing, the way he was tucking it away, the type of finishes he was scoring.
Let me put it this way. There are players who have come close to Henry.
No.
Yes.
Who?
Suarez.
No, he's not the same.
3 seasons, goals, assists, whatever you want. Hear me out here. I'm not saying very close, but I'm saying there are players who have come close to Henry. And there will be players who come close, and Henry will be the first to be caught. There's no one who has come close to Shearer.
Shearer's output. Fair enough, but I don't think how many of those goals were actually meaningful. They didn't win anything.
It doesn't matter. We're just basing it on ability.
It will mean a lot to other people.
No. We said we're basing it on ability and consistency. There is no player who has held that.
You're saying that.
No, that's what we agreed at the beginning.
No. You said it right at the podcast. That's what your factor is.
You didn't argue it.
Well, I just like. That's why I was explaining earlier. Those are very big factors, right? But I have other factors that go into it in terms of winning medals, essentially the Premier League, right? And what was his impact on the sport? Like, what do you think these youth players, like all of them, they want to say, I base my game off of Thierry Henry. No one's basing their game off of Alan bloody Shearer.
It's because they don't remember him. He's too old.
Wait, what?
They don't.
So you're punishing Henry for the fact that Alan Shearer's old and he kind of looks like the guy who owns the pub.
No. You're giving Henry points because people remember Henry more. Look, Henry was incredible, but
skill level higher than Shearer.
He was higher than Shearer.
Goals to games higher than Shearer. Premier League higher than Shearer. Overall game and gameplay higher than Shearer.
But he's did it over 10 years.
10 years. Yeah, but you're putting too much weight on that one factor.
No. He did that over. Yeah, but he didn't just do it. He scored 260 goals.
Yeah, nice. For a team, it's a great achievement.
Great. He was the best header of the ball.
Yeah.
That I've seen. He had a powerful shot. It's actually a little bit quick.
At the same time, he spent all those years at Newcastle, but to me, he kind of lacked ambition to go somewhere else, like a proper top team.
Maybe.
Like Henry, At Arsenal, he was like, okay, look, I need to win the Champions League. I'm going to go to Barcelona because I'm the best striker in the world, so I got to go with the best team. And I respect it. But Newcastle, it kind of felt like he was just, okay, I'm just going to stay here and I'll just be the man. And like, that's the same thing. Like, he loses a bit of respect for me. A tiny bit.
I think if you're putting in a player into the Hall of Fame, it is a crime not to put the player who has scored the most goals into that Hall of Fame.
Fine. You can argue that, but for Henry not to get in there ahead of Shearer, there'll be heads on sticks. God damn it!
Oh, sorry,
on the Arsenal Twitter.
have you met your fan base? There'll be one geezer saying "blood fam, blood fam." There'll be another one. They'll be threatening to kind of maybe fight each other. One of them might dribble a little bit. The other one will have headphones.
And if there's a fan vote, Henry's getting in there.
I do.
But how many golden boots did Shearer have?
3.
Henry has 4.
He does.
Looking at that. Okay, my other honourable mention, quickly in there, would have been Rooney. Actually, it would have been, for me, it would have been Henry, Rooney, then Shearer.
Rooney's not retired.
Retired from the Premier League? Nah, joking. Oh, that's very true. Okay, fine.
Fine. You can have that because my second player, we basically all cheated, but my second player is also still playing in the Premier League. And
that is Kun Aguero. Yeah. But same thing, same argument I have. He doesn't have the assist that Henry has. Just pure total output. I mean, his goal to minute ratio is just out of his world. It's the same level as Henry, isn't it? Like they're both like neck and neck or something like that.
It's 0.69 for Aguero.
Oh my gosh, that 0.01. All the Arsenal fans would be like rejoicing at that. I think he's gone off the ball. It's because he's gone off the ball recently, isn't it?
Wait, that's the thing. He hasn't. I think as just a sheer goal scorer, he might be the best ever.
Yeah.
Again, he's been very unfortunate with injuries as well. You have to take that into account. In that he constantly he seems to have been a bit better recently, but he would get these kind of big-ish injuries for a length of time, and he would come back and he would he would still do it. I think I know what you're saying about assists, but the thing is, you don't get a striker for assists. It's an added it's an added bonus, but when it comes down to it, if you want a striker. If he gets assists, it's great, but you want a goal scorer.
I know, but as in, maybe you're thinking, for me, you're talking a bit old school, right? You think more, I want all total contributions, like total player. If he's a striker, yes, of course I want him to score goals, but if he can get assists, he's definitely, if you were a manager and you had prime Henry, you had prime Aguero, and you had to pick between the two, you would pick Henry just because he's got those assists, and he's going to contribute to the total play.
I do have to actually add Aguero falls into the same category as Henry, where he's played for a very good City side.
Yeah, okay, you have that. Quick shout out to Wayne Rooney, 491 appearances, 208 goals, 111 assists. That's why because of those assists as well, that's why he's up there with me. 5 Premier League titles. 2009 and 10, he scored 26 goals and had 3 assists. 2011 and 12, 27 goals and 4 assists. And he spent 16 seasons in the Premier League, so he definitely does have the legacy in terms on his side.